This is going to be episode 135 for you guys today. Once my co-host join in, we'll go ahead and get today's episode started. What's up, Rob?
Hello, hello. How goes it?
Going good today. Going good. Oh,
Huh?
Kurt. Here comes Kurt.
You can't even notice my eye, really. Yeah, that's good.
I can't believe that happened, yo. What
Yeah,
up,
me
Kurt?
neither. Only me.
What's going on, guys?
Hello, Kurt. Where's your
What's
face?
up? My face is my camera's messed up, man.
You're a liar. I'm just kidding.
I guess we go ahead and get started. If Fred joins in, he just hopped in with us. But we go ahead and get started. All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree from Onthehop podcast. Today, this is going to be episode 135 for you guys today. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Rob Sarasulo and Curtis Green. Fred Harris should be joining us tonight. If he joins us, he'll go ahead and join the live as well. But we're here to present episode 135 for you guys tonight. So we start off with the first segment. Are the Dallas Cowboys contenders or pretenders heading into the NFL playoffs?
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like the whole NFC is pretenders at this point. Like, it's been a weird year. But, I don't know. I mean, y'all have only beaten one good team, and that's quote-unquote good team in the Eagles. The rest of, like, the powerhouse teams y'all have lost to. I mean, not to hate or anything, but
No, that's true.
it's true. I mean, the Eagles are definitely not a powerhouse team. You know, they got lucky against the Giants the other day. I won't get into that too much because I'll just get upset. But Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, your defense is good, but y'all have been kind of gashed by the run recently. James Cook just went off against the Cowboys. I mean, you got speed on defense, but I feel like when it comes to like if someone like runs between the tackles on the Cowboys, like ground and pound type of game, it's over. Like y'all don't got the size to really stop it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, you got the offense. We know that. Y'all put up points. That's, I mean, pretty much a given. But the defense isn't what I don't think it's what we thought. I mean, every other aspect is good, like your pass rush, your pass defense. If you try to run outside the tackles, like a zone run scheme, outside zone run scheme, you're good with that because you got the speed. But as far as like I said, like a ground and pound attack, like a classic, 3 yard in a cloud of dust football, y'all do not do that well, especially of late. Um, you know, I don't know. I mean, the NFC is so wide open though. Like that's the thing. Like it's hard to really put a label on anyone in the damn NFC these days. We just saw the best NFC team that we thought in the 49ers get absolutely destroyed by the Ravens on Christmas night. So
This is true.
I don't know. I don't know what to think of anyone in the NFC. It's like JV and varsity. It doesn't even like. I don't know, man. I kind of put the Cowboys on the fence for that reason. They're definitely one of the better teams in the NFC since it is so wide open. I will say that. There isn't many teams in the NFC better. I would say the 49ers realistically are pretty much the only better team. Um, the Eagles, no. And I don't even have to name anyone else because it's a joke. I mean, who's after you got the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and it's just like, what the hell? Like,
Lions there, but I don't.
yeah, the Lions. I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel like they're on the same level as you guys, but their defense is terrible.
Yeah, very
Their
suspect.
defense is trash, just like the Eagles. So like, I'd say them two teams are on the same level. I'd say the Lions have a little bit better of an offense,
Hmm.
so I would give them the edge. But I still think the Cowboys are better than both the Eagles and the Lions. But I feel like any given moment, any of those teams could fold. So it's hard to say. I don't know.
That's true. What about you, Kurt?
Personally, we already know how I feel about the Cowboys
Oh man.
as a team, as an organization, all of it. I mean, first of all, who made you guys America's team? Let's think about
Whoa,
that.
whoa, whoa! Hold on. Hold on. Oh wait. That's a whole different. Well, there's some reason why we're America's team. I mean, look, I don't even gotta go into the basics about it.
You right, you right. Partially, but uh, I think going into the playoffs is like, bro, I don't see them doing anything. I feel like all the hype is here now because you guys have momentum, but I feel like once we get in the playoffs, Dak is just gonna fold. CD's just gonna sit there and cry.
Yo,
Micah Parsons is gonna go missing. And then brag about it on his podcast. But I think these guys are pretenders, man.
all right, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Now I gotta back my boy up before I go. If we being realistic about Michael Parsons now with his podcast, he do be ranting on there. I will say, but he don't be going MIA, man. If you look at the games, the man gets held 24/7. He would probably be like he's in the conversation for defensive player, but he probably would have closed the gap with the guys like Miles Sanders or TJ Watt if the man wasn't getting double teamed or held every single game though. But I see that there's truth to what Curtis said of that Dak does have his moments in the playoffs where he doesn't shine 9 times out of 10. But yeah, Honestly, I don't know what to call this team because we all know the talent is there. I don't know. They're like they're like both. They're contenders because at home they're undefeated and they play as good as anyone at home. But then they're pretenders on the road because they have yet to win a meaningful road game against a top tier NFL team all season long. And it's like they're 7-0 at home this year, and then they're 3-5 on the road. And losing the teams like the 49ers, the Eagles, the Bills, the Dolphins all on the road this year is concerning to me because the Eagles only just need to win out to win a division. If the Cowboys don't win a division, they're going to have to go on the road as the fifth seed for the whole entire time in the playoffs unless something happens with the lower seeds going far in the playoffs. So that's alarming to me. I think the Cowboys can beat really anybody on any given day. It's just they got to stop beating themselves because they play clean. They got to start with playing clean, mistake-free football. Tony Pollard, they got to develop a running game quick, fast, in a hurry because this man only has one total 100-yard rushing game all year. That's alarming to me. They got to fix that. Penalties, they're the most penalized team. Mike McPenalties is back in full effect. I mean, we're the most penalized team in football. If we can clean these things up, I think we can beat anybody in the NFL, especially come playoff time. But I'm not really sure if we end up with the fifth seed. We're going to beat the NFC South winner, obviously. Then it's last year all over again. And the year before, you're going to have to play the 49ers. I don't know if they can be. I don't have faith in them if we have to play the 49ers again. I hate to say it. I think we could beat the Eagles and anybody else in the NFC, but we have to go on the road to San Francisco. It's a wrap. For now, I have to say it's a wrap, even though they just got blown out. But yeah, I feel like they're in between contenders and pretenders right about now.
Yeah.
What do y'all think though? If somehow the Eagles blew their last two games and lost one of them, the Cowboys won out, do you think their chances of being contenders would be better if they won the NFC East?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's a wide open division. So, I mean, if you won the division and you had a higher seeding, then you're probably going to play a team like the Rams or somebody like that. So
I would love to play them again. We blew them out, but I'm gonna save them for the next segment. But they're looking pretty good right about now. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I think this is really our best year to at least get to the NFC Championship because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of dramatic changes in Dallas if they're a one and done team and only go to divisional round and they don't get. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of changes that could be for the better for the Cowboys, but I think we could see Mike McCarthy get fired, not possibly re-sign Dak, and he's down to his last year next year in Dallas. There's going to be a lot of things that's going to change if they're a divisional round exit again this year. But, yeah, hard to say what that team's going to be like.
Yeah, I feel that.
But moving to the next segment, we'll be sharing our scariest NFL teams heading into the playoffs. So which teams do you guys think have a lot of momentum and are very scary to play against heading into the NFL playoffs with 2 weeks to go in the regular season?
I'm gonna go first. I want to go first.
Oh, here we
Personally, I really think if we sit down and we talk about it and we look at every game, the Ravens are kind of, the scariest team, bro. We just knocked off the best team, supposedly. That performance that they had.
This is true.
I'm just saying that's the scariest team. If we can play good, we win. I'm just saying, Ravens might be in the Super Bowl. We're looking like a Super Bowl team this year.
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think they're the most well-rounded team. They have a great defense, great offense. They just blew the doors off of another great defense in the 49ers. Lamar's playing at an MVP level right now. He's the current odds-on favorite to win MVP. I believe it was like minus 200 the last time I checked for him to win MVP, which is nuts. And Brock Purdy was the odds-on favorite before that game, and now he's like way down the list. He's like fifth or sixth on the list now. People like the likes of Tua and Josh Allen and Christian McCaffrey are all ahead of him now. You know, they're definitely the scariest team. You know, 49ers also, they're also a scary team, of course. I know they had that terrible game against the Ravens, but I mean, I think that, they could at least get back to a rematch with the Ravens in the Super Bowl. I think that's a very likely outcome. That's one that I would definitely see coming. The Bills are pretty hot right now. They're playing good football. They just dismantled the Cowboys. Who did they played? Who did they just beat?
The Chargers.
Oh, that's okay. That's not really. That's pretty much a gimme. But yeah, they just blew the doors off the Cowboys. I didn't expect that. They ran the ball right down their throat. If their run game is clicking like that, that'll play really well in the Josh Allen's game since he's a running quarterback. It'll help him commit less mistakes and play hero ball when he's down. I feel like that's obviously when people have a tendency to do so. The Dolphins, their offense, I'm sure no one wants to see their offense in the playoffs because we know what they're capable of. Very fast team. I don't know. Other than that, I mean, the Lions, I mean, they're pretty solid in the NFC at least. I think that they're a pretty feared team right now, led by Dan Campbell. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's pretty much sums it up. I mean, there's no really other teams. Like, no one's scared of the Eagles right now. Who's scared of the Eagles?
I want to play them again.
Who's scared of the Buccaneers?
Oh.
Who's scared of the Rams? And I mean the Chiefs too. I mean, like, Mahomes ain't looking too good right now. I mean, he is Mahomes, and we know what he does in the playoffs. So that's something I'll get to later. But I wouldn't say they're exactly as feared as they once were. Who else is it? The Colts? Yeah, they're on there. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'd say the most feared team is far and away the Ravens, 100%.
Yeah,
No doubt.
I got two sleepers, man. One for the AFC, one for the NFC. My first team in the AFC is the Browns, man. I am not sleeping on them. I think they are a real threat heading into
That is one team I forgot about, Tom. I'm not even gonna lie.
because it's crazy to think, like, what if I told you back in August that the Browns would be sitting at 10-5 with Joe Flacco with a lot of momentum heading into the playoffs? You would have thought I was insane. But it's happening, and they're getting hot. They're on a 3-game winning streak. The defense is playing well. The connection between Joe Flacco, Amari Cooper, and David Njoku, they're like a new married couple that's in the honeymoon phase. They are unstoppable out there, especially Amari Cooper's stellar performance that he had last week against the Texans. I think when you have a veteran quarterback like Joe Flacco, great skill position players around him, a great defense that's playing well, and I'm looking at the AFC and teams that I don't know that I can trust, like the Dolphins or the Jaguars or the Chiefs that we'll talk about later. I think the Browns have a good chance to possibly play spoiler and head to the NFC and the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Possibly play against a team like the Ravens. I am very high on this Browns team. I actually are more confident in them than the Chiefs, the Dolphins, or the Jaguars, teams like that, heading into the playoffs for the AFC side. So I'm definitely not sleeping on them heading into the playoffs.
No.
My next team, though, Rob, I don't know. You said the Rams. I'm kind of iffy on that. I feel I'm not 100% confident, but I'm not sleeping on the Rams either because, like we just talked about, the NFC is like the JV of football, and the AFC is the varsity. But like the Rams, they started off 3-6, and they find themselves now at 8-7. It's not the best record, but they've won their last 5 out of 6 games, and they had that thriller game that they lost to the Ravens in overtime that they could have won. So they looked really good in the last month of football. This is the first time that Matthew Stafford has been healthy for a long time. I think he's playing pretty efficient right now. Kyron Williams, that running game is really spectacular. That's helped me in our fantasy championship this year. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are playing well together at the wide receiver position, but I'm not sold on them because they could. The way I was going to play out, actually, I take that back. This is what I'm going to say, Rob and Kurt, because I just thought about this. Because looking at it, the way the NFC is playing, they're probably going to get the 6th seed. I could really see a matchup between, if it happens, if the Lions end up with the 3rd seed, they play the Rams at home and play the Rams. You see Matthew Stafford come back to Detroit to play against the Lions, and you see that head-to-head matchup between Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford that were trading for each other just a few years ago. I would actually put my money on the Rams upsetting the Lions if that happened right now because they have the playoff experience. Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay have won a Super Bowl together. If that matchup happens, I really would go with the underdogs for the Rams for that game. But I hope that's one game I'm hoping that happens in the first round, Lions and Rams, because I think that could be the game of the weekend in the wild card.
That would be a cool game. I'm not gonna lie, that would be a cool ass game to watch.
I think that's their
I would
only.
love to see that.
I think that's really their only good chance of getting out of the first round because if they play the Eagles in Philly, I would lean towards the Eagles. If somehow the Cowboys could win the NFC East, that we already saw how that played out when they played each other earlier in the season, and they don't want to play San Francisco if they somehow get the 2nd or 3rd seed. So yeah, but I would not be surprised though if that was the matchup. But I don't know. I think they with their championship experience, they could play spoiler in the NFC though. Yeah, those are my 2 teams that I would look out for. I think it's scary to play in the first round of the playoffs.
I understand. I feel that.
Yeah.
All right. So before we move on to the next segment, we're going to take the time out to mention our partnership with Sharps Sports Betting. Sharps is a sports betting network best used for all sports bettors around the world. Sharps allows you to link your sports books, including DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, and ESPN bets. Sharps allows you to track your win-loss record and allows you to see what your friends are currently betting. Sharps also offers free transparency. You can download Sharps today on all Apple and Android devices. So if you're a sports bettor, go ahead and join the Sharp Sports Betting community and download the app today. And you guys can help us out by using promo code TOM, as in THOM 661, to go ahead and get started today. But with that being said, we're going to share our best sports bets of the week. So what is your guys' best sports bets of the week taking place in the world of sports?
So, I mean, I did a kind of a combo football and basketball. I wanted to do one with the Ravens game for some reason on DraftKings. They didn't have any of the player props yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Sometimes it'd be doing that, but I went with the Browns alternate spread -7. The Jets are kind of, drowning out this year. Basically, they have no hope. I know they have a great defense, and I know that people are like, oh, I know Joe Flacco's hot, but he's not going to have a great game against that defense. Well, I don't know. I think they will. I think they'll stick to the run a little bit more. I still think Flacco will do his thing. He's been there before. He's, trying to play spoiler, like you said. He's trying to win games. Like, he's about it. He's faced the likes of Troy Polamalu and, that great Steelers defense back in his day. So this doesn't faze him at all. I'm taking the Browns alternate spread -7. They were -7.5, but I didn't want that half point on there. That was worrying me a little bit. So if it pushes, no big deal, whatever. I got Jerome. Like I said, I think they'll run the ball a little bit more because of that great secondary. So I got Jerome Ford over 40 rushing yards. His line, I think, was like 46.5. So I went a little bit under his line. Then I went to basketball. They're playing the Milwaukee Bucks are playing the Nets. They were -8 against the spread, so I picked -6.5 alternate spread to get me another couple of points there. Giannis 30+. I don't really foresee anyone on the Nets guarding him tonight. Lopez 1-3. He's been cashing out from beyond the arc this year. So I'm willing to bet he hits at least one. Lopez again, 5 rebounds, and Dame Lillard 3 threes. That should be pretty easy for Lillard. Knock on wood. We'll see. And seven leg parlay. I think the odds were like plus 950 or plus 970, something like that. So it's like $10 to win, like damn near $100. So not too bad.
I like those. What
Mm-hmm.
about you, Kurt? You got any sports bets this week?
I only have like a couple, and they were not too crazy. I think I had Dame for like 20 points and 5 assists or something like that. I'm just trying to do a little ladder challenge, so I'm doing like 2 picks per time.
Okay.
Are you doing like plus 100 bets every time,
Yeah.
Kurt?
Yeah, like plus 100. Yeah. So hopefully, you know what I mean?
Is it your own ladder challenge, or is it that I forget that guy that used to do it last year? I was
Oh,
following him.
as of right now, it's mine. Until I see
Nice.
him, bro, I haven't seen him in a minute on the ladder challenge.
Yeah,
I think it's like calling our shot or something like
yeah.
that.
Shout out to calling our shot.
Yeah, man.
He, I got screwed by a couple of bad beats, but that's not on him, obviously. But he made a lot of people money, so it was pretty
He
cool.
definitely did. He made me like, I think it was like 100 some dollars. I kind of folded and got out of the ladder challenge early.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he ever got to the long-awaited 10K or not, but I know he got pretty far on one of them.
Yeah.
All right, so for mine, the first one I'm gonna say let me say this. I'm motivated by the person. I don't know if y'all saw this, but I am motivated by the person who just cashed in on that 14 leg anytime touchdown parlay.
Yeah.
The person had 14 players on anytime touchdown. And I'm motivated by that. Whoever that person is, they put down $5 and that won them a total of $489,333 from just anytime player touchdowns. Now, it was 14 players, but that I'm motivated by that. So my bets I got for week 17 for the NFL, I made my own anytime scoring touchdown parlay. Now the player props aren't really out for a lot of these games yet, but when they're available, I'm gonna put them down. So these are the players I do believe that will score for week 17. I have Amari Cooper scoring off his big time performance. I have David Njoku scoring tomorrow. I like CeeDee Lamb scoring against the Lions secondary. I like Gus Edwards scoring at some point against the Dolphins on Sunday. I like Bijan Robinson. Hopefully they could use him in the red zone against the Bears. I like him scoring. James Cook, the Bills found a running game with him. I like him scoring. Kyron Williams for the Rams. I like him scoring against the Giants. Jalen Hurts, anytime the Eagles get down to the 1 yard line, 9 times out of 10 they're doing the tush push. I like that one. I like DK Metcalf scoring this weekend. Travis Kelce against a secondary against the Cincinnati Bengals. Chris McCaffrey, he's goal to score. Javonte Williams scoring for the Broncos, and then Justin Jefferson scoring since the Packers don't have Jair Alexander playing in their secondary. So the player props aren't available yet, but I'm going to just throw down $5. I'm saying it now. If all those hit, that at least has to be over $1,000 with. And all those players I just said scores, which I'm kind of shaky on Bijan because Arthur Smith still has no idea how to use his best offensive player. And then Javonte Williams is a shaky one to me too. I don't know how well the Broncos offense is going to play after the bench Russell Wilson, but if y'all want a Hail Mary, that's my Hail Mary for the week for anytime player touchdown. I'm gonna post an update on that on our page this week when the player props are available. Because like you said, Rob, DraftKings still doesn't have, or FanDuel doesn't have those anytime touchdowns yet. But I'm gonna see what that can do though. But I like my chances on that for throwing out $5. that bet motivated me. The last bet I have is for the Browns and Jets game tomorrow. I have the Browns money line. I think that's an easy lock. Or I would like them covering the spread tomorrow as well. I like your alternate spread that you said, Rob, too.
Mm-hmm.
I would do one of those, money line or Rob's alternate spread. Amari Cooper to have a touchdown. He's coming off a historic performance against the Texans. I think he just broke the record for a Browns player with the most receiving yards in franchise
Yeah.
history.
He broke Josh Gordon's record by like 5 yards or something like that.
That's what's up. Yeah, I like that. Flacco having over 200 yards. I know the Jets secondary is pretty good, but he's gonna. I feel like he's gonna be motivated to put up at least 200 over 200 passing yards because, like he said, the Jets didn't call him back this past NFL offseason. At least be a backup. So I think he still didn't forget about that. I like Amari Cooper at least getting over 50 yards. Even though if he's getting shot up by Sauce Gardner, I'm not sure who's going to be guarding for. I'm pretty sure Sauce Gardner would be following the whole game. But I also like Flacco getting 2 passing touchdowns because, like I just said, I have Amari Cooper and David Njoku, my anytime player touchdown parlay that I'm going to build. So those are my bets for tomorrow night's game between the Browns and Jets.
Cooper might be hurt, Tom.
I see it. Yeah, he's questionable.
Yeah.
But I think he could play. I mean, I'm not saying it's a trap game for the Jets, but I think he'll try to gut it out just to make sure, like, if he is hurt, they can win this game, and then you basically just bench the starters for Week 18 because they're going to be in the playoffs. Really, regardless, I don't see anything else really crazy happening in the AFC besides the finals, like the AFC South with that division, what's going to happen, and possibly the Bills and Dolphins, that seeding. But I think they're good to go for the playoffs. So I can see them playing everybody tomorrow, and then them being 11-5, they can afford to sit their starters and play until the half for the last game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm conflicted because in my work league, I'm in the fantasy championship, and I have Michael Pittman, Amari Cooper, and Brandon Ayuk. And Cooper and Pittman are both questionable. I feel like Pittman is more likely to not play than Cooper. But since I saw that news, I switched Pittman in for Cooper. And I might just put Cooper back in. I don't know. He got me 51 points this past week. So, like,
51?
51.5. Amari Cooper.
I know you had a heck of a game, but that probably won you the matchup, let alone 51 points coming from one player.
Mm-hmm.
That's like half the points.
Most of my team played like shit. I mean, Ayuk did pretty good. I think he had 20. But, I mean, the rest of my team didn't do too great. I mean, I think I totaled like 135. So, I mean, Cooper was like more than a third, like 40% of my points.
Dang.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm in the championship now. So I'm conflicted. I don't know who to play. I'm very conflicted. Very conflicted.
If you get both of them, you'll probably win it. We're having both of them.
I mean, I don't. But then, what about Ayuk though? Like, do I bench Ayuk against the Commanders?
Who you
Like,
have in your flex? Because there's 2 wide receivers.
I don't know. I think. Oh shit, you're right.
Shit.
Oh.
I think I had James Conner maybe. Either James Conner or I don't know. I have a lot of running backs too.
Real quick before we go to the next segment, the final segment, I just got the notification on my phone. Denver Broncos are expected to cut Russell Wilson. The Broncos are likely to part ways with Russell Wilson in March for the beginning of NFL free agency. What are y'all thoughts on that real quick before we go on the final segment?
That's crazy. I mean, they pretty much gave up on him. Sean Payton said, "You got to go." I don't know how I feel about Sean Payton. I feel like he kind of overrated, to be honest. I don't know. I don't think he got the juice no more. But I feel like Russ is going to like do better on another team, in my opinion.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm kind of shocked because you have a former Super Bowl quarterback, Russell Wilson. He's not playing like the Seattle days, but he's getting back to something like
He's
that.
playing good.
Yeah, I'm shocked by this. Then you get Sean Payton. You just brought him there to Denver for a reason. Then, realistically, I was gonna say this earlier when we were talking about Lamar Jackson being MVP, but I ain't throwing no shade, Kurt. But these stats, Russell Wilson has 28 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 66.4 completion percentage, a 98% passer rating, compared to Lamar Jackson, who has 19 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 66.3 completion percentage, and a 97.2 passer rate. Why is this man being cut? I mean, the only difference between the league MVP candidate and Russell Wilson is the win-loss column. Russell Wilson really has better stats than the favorite to win MVP.
Lamar has the rushing yards, though.
That is true. But
Yeah, I was about to say, don't act like that boy ain't got legs over there.
I don't know.
But
that is a good point, though. I mean, they're passing wise, like Russell's definitely deserving to be on the team. I mean, I don't think he should be cut. I understand because the money, but maybe they want to start over. But
I don't know what they're going to start over with that roster.
They don't have nothing. They don't got. I don't know what they're gonna do.
You don't got no. Cortland Sutton is their only hope at receiver because Jerry Jeudy be out there with a cardio game. He's just a track star.
Dude,
he just got this.
I feel like he'll revive his career. That's just. I think he's got the talent to revive his career on another team. But I mean, I don't know. Like they're screwed. Like they're screwed, bro. Like they traded their whole house to get Russ, and now they're just gonna let him go for nothing.
I thought the trade that trade between the Broncos that they did for Russell Wilson and that 49ers and Dolphins trade, how they trade all the way up to get Trey Lance, those two trades in the last 2 years got to be top 5 worst trades in NFL history now. They have to be because you look at what the 49ers did with Trey Lance, or trading up to get Trey Lance. The Dolphins basically got those picks that they got Tyreek Hill. They traded away that pick to get Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs. Then Jalen Waddle, they drafted him with that draft pick they had that year. And then they traded away the other draft pick that they got from the 49ers to get Bradley Chubb. So
they loaded that up with that trade. The Dolphins,
you cashed that in.
You
cashed that in for a guy that's an emergency quarterback, a third-string emergency quarterback with the Dallas Cowboys to get Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Bradley Chubb. That's insane. That is truly insane.
Mm-hmm.
But
cashed out.
Hold on. Before I'm actually interested in that. Where at the season, and they're already benching him for the rest of the year. I guess that's because of financial reasons. But let me see. NFL draft order. I'm curious because if you don't have a top 10 pick, there's no way that anybody else is about to change it up for them. So we got they're not even in the top 5. They're not even in the top 10. They even have they're at pick 15.
Who?
The Broncos. So like, why would you announce that you're gonna cut Russell Wilson now, and you have a top 15 pick, and I don't know.
They're not getting a quarterback with that.
Luckily, it's a deep class of quarterbacks, but you're not going to get somebody that's going to change the landscape at pick 15 at the season end of the day. I don't know what to think about it. I feel like a team like the Commanders are definitely going to be after him. Maybe the Titans. I don't know about that one. I think they should just keep him and ride it out because it's only year one with a quarterback like Russell Wilson that's starting to get back to how he used to play, and then Super Bowl winning coach of Sean Payton. I think that's a mistake, though. But we're going to go ahead and move to the final segment. Which team has a better chance of getting back to the Super Bowl this year, the Kansas City Chiefs or the Philadelphia Eagles?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
I would like to go first. And this is going to be a bold statement, but I really think this deep down in my heart that neither one of them are going to get there. Okay, hear me out, right? due to the fact they're losing the easy games right now. So how do you expect for you to go into the playoffs to win these important games if y'all losing to these asses? Man, come on, bro. Y'all is not about to do nothing. Personally, what I think is going to happen is that the Eagles are going to suffer really hard and don't know how to bounce back, which I already said this before they went on their little streak and started losing. I said that to Malik. The Chiefs, they can't seem to get it right. I mean, Pat Mahomes is putting stuff on the money. Receivers are dropping the ball. They still worried about Taylor Swift for some odd reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to get it right. Both teams, to be honest with you, they're struggling right now, and right now is not the time to struggle.
So which one? So which one do you think has the better chance of getting back there, Kurt?
I mean, I'm going. Jesus, man, I can say Philly, but I'm gonna say Philly has a better chance. But then also, I'm gonna follow up with I wouldn't be surprised if both of them don't get in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I agree with what neither of them, I don't think are
Here, the Chiefs' offense just has too many issues outside of Mahomes and Kelsey. We've been saying that all year, and now it's really showing. I mean, they have something in Rashee Rice. They definitely do. But, that I don't know. I mean, Pacheco is pretty good. I wouldn't say he's a top 5 back or anything, but I don't know what they're doing out there. They need a passing game. And they just don't have it right now. Kelsey himself hasn't even really for maybe age is to him. But man, it's hard to say who would have a better chance because on one hand you have the Eagles, right? Their defense is trash. They have the experience though. And their path is much easier than the Chiefs because the NFC, right? But then you
Yeah.
have the Chiefs, you have Pat Mahomes, who's been to the Super Bowl multiple times, multiple Super Bowl wins. You can never count him out, no matter what, come playoff time. So I'm going to say the Chiefs just because they have number 15. That's the only reason. I think, they're not going to make it there. They're not. But, they're one of the only teams that I feel like on any given night could upset a team like the Ravens. I'm not saying they are. I don't think they will. But if any team were to beat the Ravens in the playoffs, I think it would be them. I mean, I think Mahomes, the what it would take for them to beat the Ravens is their defense stepping up, which it has for much of the year, and a great game from Mahomes. He's going to have to go crazy. He's going to have to snap, just lock in. I don't think the Eagles have what it takes to do that. I think they're going to be, I think they're going to get upset in the first round. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I'm going to say the Chiefs have a better shot. I mean, if they can get past the Ravens, then they could go right to the Super Bowl. I think that would be a very likely AFC Championship matchup. If I guess what's the Chiefs seeding right now? What seed is the Chiefs?
So
Fourth seed?
they are currently. I know they're obviously their division. Let's see, AFC standings because they're gonna win that division. Right now, they are the 3rd seed in the AFC behind the Ravens and the Dolphins.
So who would they play? The 6th seed?
Yes, and right now the 6th seed. Where'd it go? Hold on, give me 1 second. So right now, 2023. They would no, that's last year. This computer. I'm about to pull it up again. Right now, no, Browns are the 5th off the top of my head. I want to say.
Is it the Steelers?
I want to say. No, I think the Steelers are in the hunt.
Really? No, yeah, they just won, but other
They
than
would
that, they've been losing.
play the. Oh, they would play the Bills right now.
Oh, shit.
So, that's about to change my whole answer because that Week 18 game. Because if the Dolphins lose and the Bills win this week, because the Dolphins got to play the Ravens and the Bills got to play the Patriots. That Week 18 game is going to come down to division. So realistically, you're going to play the loser of that game in the first round if you're the Chiefs. That is. Ooh,
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I know
ooh.
yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I know I said Pat Mahomes,
I think that's about to change my
but
whole answer.
I don't think they beat either one of those teams
And they
right
already
now.
lost against the Bills at
Yeah,
home a few weeks
yeah.
ago.
I mean, it was a close game, but
Yeah.
I don't think. I think I feel like they have a better shot at beating the Dolphins than the Bills, but damn, yeah, that's a tough game. That's hard to. Now my answer is all screwed up. Now I don't know.
Tried to tell you, Rob.
The Eagles are.
Philly.
Oh my God, the Eagles! Like I think they're worse than the Chiefs, bro. They're definitely worse. But the NFC is such an easy path to the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know. Because the Eagles, they're the third seed, right? And they would play the Rams, I think. Right?
No, Eagles will play they would play the Seahawks if it ended today.
Oh my God.
Which they'll probably win out and win that.
They'd probably win that game.
So that's why I said you probably get Lions, Rams, and then Cowboys.
Well, hold up now. The Seahawks just beat the Eagles. Hold up. The Seahawks just beat them.
They did, but I don't think they get lucky. I would like that. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think their defense is pretty improved. They could do it again.
They would have to go to Philly this time. That would be.
Oh yeah, that would be.
That's
a tough environment.
game again though, but I would have to lean towards the Eagles in that
Bro,
one. Then.
The Super Bowl could really be anybody at this point. Like it really.
It's real life. It's gonna be who comes up and plays. Literally.
Well, yeah, that's what it always is.
It's just I can't say that it's gonna be two teams right now that we can be like, okay, they're gonna be in the Super Bowl. At this point, it's like, damn, uh, this team could be in there if they, get right like it was, or this team, and it's multiple teams right now that could low key get in there now.
I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
I'm kind of glad that the Chiefs and the Eagles are kind of messing up right now. I'm tired of seeing like super teams do good, mess up for once in your life. I'm hating. Of course, I'm gonna hate. The Ravens gonna do all they work, and we gonna get to the bowl.
Really though, out of every team that is slated to make the playoff, I mean, we got 2 weeks left, but like the top teams everybody has really been exposed at least one time, but the Ravens, and their losses I have to say, like, they beat themselves. Like, you look at that Colts game weeks back, they beat themselves. That Steelers game, they really beat themselves when the receivers couldn't catch a ball to save their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And the collapse against the Browns, those three losses, they really beaten themselves. You look at everybody, the Dolphins, 49ers, Eagles, Cowboys, Lions, everybody on the Chiefs, everybody's been exposed at least one time this year. Some even twice. So I think it's going to be really interesting. I think this has the chance to be one of the most unpredictable playoffs that we've seen in a long time because everybody's been exposed at least once. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, looking at that now, I would have to say the Eagles have the better chance of getting to the Super Bowl than the Chiefs because they're, like Rob said and like Kurt said, they're in an easier conference to compete in. The NFC is the JV, the AFC is the varsity of the NFL. But I think compared to the Eagles and Chiefs, the Eagles have not looked good, and they're not the same team on both sides of the ball. And they're missing their coordinators more than ever, Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon. So I think they have talent. The talent is there, but I think playing against teams like the Cardinals and the Giants to close out the season, they can fix their mistakes against lesser competition with a few weeks left to go. But I don't have no hopes in the Chiefs this year. Their receivers are really going to cost them going on a deep playoff run. They have failed to create separation all year long. Travis Kelce is wrapped up in a love story right now with Taylor Swift, and he's not playing at the level that we all know that he can play at. So he's really struggled this year. And this actually will be the first time since Patrick Mahomes has played with the Chiefs that they will not have home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. They've already been eliminated of having the number one seed, and he's had the number one seed his whole entire career, playing all home playoff games minus the Super Bowl. So I don't see them going on the road to beat a team like the Ravens right now. Dolphins or Bills, they got to get them one of those teams in the first round. I don't think they could beat them at home. Even if they had to see the Browns, I don't see them beating the Browns at all in the playoffs right now. I am so disappointed in how this Chiefs team is because they were supposed to be a dynasty, and I don't see nothing that says dynasty about this team right now. But like Rob said, they do have Patrick Mahomes. They will always have a chance with him, but his surroundings and the players that he plays with is really going to cost him a chance at potentially getting a third ring this year. So I got to lean more towards the Eagles in that department right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Plus, and then I also meant to say this too when I was looking at the standings because it pissed me off because I'm looking, and let's just say if the Lions lose the Cowboys and then they win out their final game, they get the third seed, and the Eagles win out, they get the second seed. It would literally set up all over again for the Cowboys to beat the worst division of football, the NFC South, and then have to go to San Francisco and play them a third time again in 3 years. Then you would have the Eagles and the Lions play against each other, and that game would be in Philly. So if it was supposed to play out how it's supposed to play out, so yeah, I would have to say the Eagles. Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Eagles in that prediction or that predicament. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode. That is all the time we have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, Rob Sarasulo, and Curtis Green signing off. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and we'll see you guys on next week's episode.
All righty.
Here.